How's it going, everybody? Share it out a little bit. Chad, there he is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What are you doing, man? What are you doing, Chad? You wild, man. Are you going to join us, or am I just going to bring you up? I'm going to bring you up, ain't I? That's right. I'm bringing you up today. I forgot. See if I can get you here, man. What's up, dude? You sharing it with everybody. You wild, dude. There you go, bro. Hope everybody can hear me. Good day, good day, good day. John, good day, good day. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on with Chad. How's it going, everybody? Glad to see you for this here final edition of the Thursday afternoon Good Project show. We're going to have a little fun today. We're going to talk about autism. Hopefully we're going to hear from Chad Rev Art. I don't know. He is over there in Missouri. I hear sounds. I hear faint sounds. It could be a Chad. Hey, Dirty, what's going on?
Yo.
Yo.
Are they going to let me in?
Hey, man, it might. I don't know. We hadn't done it this way in a little while. They might get confused. I need to figure out how to split you, bro, but
What
that might
up?
be a bridge too far.
Dirty. We're good. We're good. Petra. Eric. What up? Eric's knocking. What you got,
How's
Eric?
it going? How's it going, everybody? What's happening? What's happening? Do we need to bring Eric up?
Yeah, sure. Dude, that
No, he's at
Deadpool.
work.
Oh.
Eric's
Oh my
Eric's at
God.
work. Eric's at work.
Oh, it says knock. That's why I thought he wanted to be up. Okay. My
Right
bad.
on. If you want us to bring you up, dude, we can bring you
Coach
up.
Creation.
How's it going, everybody? Hey, Pamela, good to see you. Hey, Dirty.
Oi.
So here's what I was talking about, Dirty. This is the last Thursday afternoon Gen Project show because we're doing the shows Tuesday night now, and that's the only show there's going to be during the week as far as Gen Project show. And then Thursday night is going to be the Chad Rev Art show. So I thought tonight go through a little history of how we got to this point, and then we're going to bring on some folks that are going to talk to us about projects they're working on related to autism. And I happen to know something about that subject, and that'll be part of why I'm giving a little history on the point. Hey, Ash Paul, thank everybody for joining. I appreciate y'all coming in here. Bunch of amazing folks
Yo.
going through the chat here. Thank you, Colby. Appreciate you. I wish
Thank
I
you,
could shout
Ash.
everybody out.
What was
Ash,
that?
yes, Chad. Thanks,
Was it a
man.
bunny?
So,
What is
here's the
that,
thing.
Ash?
I'll start from the beginning. This is Chad Rev Art down here, and Chad is someone that was introduced to me from painting at Tiffany's,
Yeah.
and painting at Tiffany introduced me to a few other people too. But hey, Ash. But the reason that is relevant is that's what led to me having a show. So this current time slot is the original slot that Chad had for his Chad Rev Art show that he used to do every day of the week for however long.
5 days a week.
When I came on TikTok and Chad and I met through painting at Tiffany's, and he made me the co-host of his show. Shortly
Yeah.
thereafter, we developed my show, and that show was one of four, and it was the oddity out. And so
Enigma.
Chad graciously let me take his time slot where he was already using and people were already used to seeing him because he was going to be the co-host. And he moved to a later time slot. So
Yes,
now
sir.
what we have done over the course of the last month is finish up our last shows that we do twice a week, each of us. And now from now on, the way it'll be is on Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern time.
No, 6
Wait,
o'clock
7 o'clock.
Central.
I'm sorry, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central time. Will be the Gin Project show on Tuesday nights, and Chad Rev Art will be the co-host. On Thursday nights will be the Chad Rev Art show at the same time, 6 Central, 7
6 o'clock.
Eastern. And I will be the co-host for his show. And the rest of the time when you catch us,
Hi,
you'll be able to
Wendy.
catch me on Saturday mornings with SA Artistries on occasion. And you'll be able to catch me late Sunday nights on Flow State with Chad Rev Art when we do our Flow States. Those are going to be the only scheduled things we have. And then the rest of the time, you just have to kind of catch us and our crew doing our thing in the middle of the night, which is usually when it
Flow
happens.
State.
Every once in a while, we will have daytime flow states too, but for
Yeah.
the most part. So the goal of that was when Chad moved his time
Toast.
slot later, when we first started doing the shows, um, Chad took a spot that wasn't really being used, and he's been doing Tuesdays and Thursdays at that time slot. So when I moved my Tuesday show down to the Tuesday evening time slot, I just took over Chad's time slot again, so we didn't take anybody's time. And then Chad is just doing his normal time on Thursday. So we've actually vacated two slots during the week, during the day, um, for
Have
people
at
to
it,
do
you
shows
bastards.
if they would like to. But that's the answer to that question.
I
So we'll
hope
be
so.
down to one show on Tuesday for the Gin Project that comes on at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. One show comes on for Chad Rev Art, and that's going to be 7 Eastern, 6 Central. I will still be doing
Thursdays.
interviews. There will be one person on, just like always, and it'll be an interview. And the very first one in March is gonna, if I'm not mistaken, is gonna be Passion for Drawing. So
There you go. There you have it. Hey, Ashley,
put that
welcome
there in your
in.
pipe. So hello everybody.
Finally made it in. Excellent. Thanks
Artist
for making
Ashley,
it.
right on.
I didn't get
Good
to do
see
this a
all of
second
you.
ago. So fair warning.
So hold on, Chad.
Space Toast!
Spaced. So I'm sure he has
do I get
something
to do it
to
again?
say.
Space Toast! Yo, I have lots to say, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this final 2:30 Central spot
Artist.
for the Gin Project show. As he announced, Tuesdays at 6 Central is the Gin Project after today. Thursdays at 6 Central is the Chad Rev Art Show. And I just want to tell you guys right now, I will be on today at 6 Central. Next week, I ain't going to be here. I got something more important to do than hang out with y'all, and that's go watch my daughter sing. So, that's what's going to
Yeah,
happen.
dude.
Ambassador Hanson, welcome in. Welcome
So
in.
Thursday off, folks.
Yeah, we'll have a day off next week. It will be awesome. And I will not be doing a flow state tonight, I don't think. There's like a 85% chance that I will not. We'll see.
I'm
What's up,
50-50
Enigma?
like always, guys.
You're
For
50-50?
the moderators in the
There you
chat,
go.
I'm same as always, 50-50. We'll see.
Yeah. I got to get up in the morning
Chop, chop.
and do stuff. And if I start, working on this stuff late tonight, then I won't sleep. And I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I will. That's why you need to be following and have your notifications on, fools.
What
True
else
story.
you got?
What else do I have?
Anything?
Let's see here. No, I don't think I do. I might hear in a minute.
All right.
Welcome in, everybody.
There you go. You're shrunk again.
Shrinkray!
So, since this is the last show during the daytime, and we have a few folks in here that come in from the daytime, we'll give another. Hey, Sandy, we'll give you another little history of how we ended up here.
Oh, also,
Begin
real
project.
quick. Wait, hang on. There's like 14 of you chilling with us right now. Everybody throw shares out and hit the double tap. Let's get this party rocking. This is his last 2:30 spot. Let's give the man some love. Go ahead, brother.
So the Gin Project, Gin was my stepfather's last name. A friend of mine called and asked me to help take down a barn. I agreed to do that. We started referring that as the Gin Project, and then we kind of laughed about the fact that I was the Gin Project since I was a stepson, and that name stuck. That's how we ended up with the Gin Project name, and that's how I ended up doing woodworking. Fast forward a few years, a friend of mine who owns a farm and is a blacksmith, I was over helping him do some stuff. He broke out his chainsaw in his Alaskan mill and milled a walnut tree, and oh, click, I can do that. So I got a chainsaw and Alaskan mill and milled a bunch of trees and that were on my property that had to come down, and those became a drying shed. And then other trees that either came down in storms or people had to take down for various reasons are milled up and are now stored in the drying shed. In the last few years, musicians have seen my furniture around town and started bringing me their instruments for repair, and now we're in the process of actually building some together. I also do some antique repair, restoration, mostly planes and tools and stuff like that. So there's a wide variety of things you might catch us doing late at night.
My bad.
Nice.
My
There's a
bad.
wide variety of things that you might find us doing late at night. You might find this guy goofing off, pushing buttons, not knowing what the hell he's doing. Or he
I
might
shrank
just
you.
hide.
My bad. It's all the. I don't
That's
know all the
awesome.
buttons, and it's the burritos. I was trying to split us like you were trying to do a minute ago, but
Do it, man.
I
Keep
don't.
trying. It's fine.
Okay,
Keep trying.
okay,
Split
okay.
us
You
up.
keep. I'll
Split us
shut
up.
up, and you say your thing, buddy. I'll see
Hey,
if I can
that's
figure
why
it
we're
out.
doing. We're trying to figure it out. Figure it out. Split us
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
dude.
Oh, oh.
So that brings you to the current state. In August had ankle surgery, the final fusion for an ankle that was partially fused back in 2000, and and I came on TikTok because I was immobile for a few months, and I came across Chad through painting at Tiffany's, and he asked me to co-host the show. Then he started talking about my show, and then that's where we are now. And that has all evolved into Tuesday night will be the Again Project show. Thursday night will be the Chad Rev Art show. He'll still be pushing buttons. Push another button, man. See what happens.
Okay, I'll push more buttons over here. Maybe one of them will work. We'll see. I'm just pushing all the buttons. Maybe it'll catch up with me here in a minute. Oh, here's an enhance button. No, I don't want that one. I
Enhance
want this
something,
one.
dude. Yeah, hit that one.
You want me to enhance something?
Is there an eject button?
Here, I'm enhancing myself.
So for those of you that bothered to stop in today, I appreciate it very much. So I figured I'd tell y'all a little more about myself. There we go. Or maybe Chad can tell you about himself.
No, I just want to tell you about this dude again.
He found a button.
I
There's
found a button. I move. You. Oh.
It frozen all the buttons.
Okay, there we go. Oh, wait, no, you're supposed to shrink. Shrink, I said. Oh my God, it's freezing up. I pushed too many buttons.
This is awesome. This is awesome. Oh, dude. Good stuff. Santiago would like to know if you got your package, Chad. Hey, Rick the Muse. Speaking of which, Rick the Muse has a show on Monday nights and Friday nights, folks. You got to check them out. Fridays I'm usually spending with my wife, and Mondays also too. So I try to get in there when I'm able to get in there. But please do. He's a good guy. We love some Rick the Muse, so please go check him out. So the Gin Project. Me. You all right down there,
Santiago,
Chad?
I haven't got that yet. Yeah, I'm good.
Right on. I like your clown face or your
It's not.
whatever
It's a
that is.
monkey. It's a monkey.
A monkey face. Good job.
Not doing Mondays anymore, just Fridays. I feel you, Rick. It's a lot of work, huh, brother?
Oh wow, Rick, you're just doing Fridays now? Right on. Yeah, man. That's why
I feel
it's
you,
a lot of
dude.
work, man. People don't realize how much work goes into trying to put in a show
So,
like that kind of show.
yeah, any of you guys
So,
who
so
aren't. I'm sorry, dude. I was just going to say, any of you guys who feel like you're not putting in enough work every week, there's a Monday slot open now, too. So, how about it?
Right on. So we've got about 4 or 5 minutes before we need to kind of switch gears to serious time because we're going to be talking about a serious subject. So push some more buttons. Get back to the serious Chad.
Okay,
'Cause
okay.
so so the people that are coming on today are trying to put together some stuff related to autism. They've got some good ideas, and the reason that matters to me, I'm about to share with you. In a past life, when I graduated from high school, I went into the Air Force, and I was a jet engine mechanic. And when I got done with that tour, that was down around the when the Desert Shield and storm and all that type of stuff happened. So in that time frame. So then, after I got off of active duty, I got a spot in a reserve unit in New Orleans, and they sent me to F-16 school, and I crewed fighters. And then after that, I crewed A-10s, and I did that while I was going to college. Got my degree in psychology and special education, and I went on to. I'm sorry, I'm not able to read the comments right now,
I
guys.
got you, buddy.
I
I
went
got
on.
you.
I went on. I went on to get my degree. It took me 11 years and 5 different schools because I was in the military, moving around, and I was, you know, poor and broke, moving around. So, at any rate, I at first was a supported living coach, and then I was a training coordinator for an agency where I ran all of the training programming. And while I was doing that, I wrote a training program that was a 4-year program that was accepted by the state of Florida, and I implemented that program and taught it. And so that was an adult day training program, which was for people that graduated with a special diploma and wanted to go live on their own. And I was responsible for writing any programming, academic or otherwise, occupational, social, any of that stuff, to help them live on their own. I did that for a while. I got burned out, went through several hurricanes, and my wife and I moved to the Smoky Mountains 16 years ago. And I stumbled into woodworking by mistake. Um, so the reason I give that background is the people that are coming on today are going to be talking about autism. And I spent quite a bit of time working with people who have autism on a variety of spectrum, from people that were able to drive all the way to people who would throw feces at me. So I've seen a lot, and I've worked with a lot of different communities in a lot of different socioeconomic situations, and a lot of communities that didn't have a lot, and a lot of communities that did. So the reason these folks are coming on is I believe in their message and what they're trying to do. Now they're trying to work on some of the problems that I tried to work on 20 years ago, and they're the same problems that keep reoccurring. I'll give a brief example. Thank you all for hanging in there with me. My
Thank you,
stepfather
everybody in the
was a
chat, by the way. Go ahead,
Yes,
brother.
thank you, thank you. My stepfather was a diabetic. He was born. He was a juvenile diabetic back in the days when you had to sharpen your needles, literally. Um, so um, his experience through life, being my business is named after him. In his late in life, he lived with my wife and I, and he passed away in my house. I was the last person with him, and I'm proud of that. Pride's the wrong word, but I'm glad that I have that. I'm sad that he's gone. But the last years of his life, because he was on disability, it was very difficult. He couldn't work more than a certain number of hours, or he would lose all of his medical benefits. And I've known
Broken
a lot of
system.
people in that situation, and a whole bunch of people that are in the community of people who have a variety of disabilities are in that situation. Um, the argument that I made at the time as a solution to that problem was a sliding scale. So if you were getting government assistance and you got a job bagging groceries somewhere, then we don't cut your whole check. We prorate it back, and you still get more than you would have gotten. The government gets some of their money back. And then if you get a raise and now you're a cashier, um, they only take half back, right? So you still are able to crawl out of your impoverished situation, and it costs the government less in the long run. I know this. I did the numbers. I work with the clients. Those are the facts. Um,
Facts.
lobbyists, and corporations and people that want to profit off of other people's misery is the reason that we don't have a better situation right now. So there are probably some ideas that these people that are coming on this show, who I have a lot of respect for, I would disagree with. But the truth of the matter is, they're trying to help the community of autism, right? I've been on both sides. I know I got into that business because I have a cousin that was born with Down syndrome, and they told him at the time that he should be institutionalized. He's now in his late 40s, still lives with his family. They love him very much. He's had a wonderful life, except for his medical issues. And so, my entire life of 52 years, most of it, 40 something of those years, has been as an advocate for individuals with disabilities. I've worked with people that had Down syndrome, multiple sclerosis, cerebral palsy, traumatic brain injuries, fetal alcohol syndrome, you name it, the gamut, young, old, all of it. So my hope is that by having them on the show today, we can spread some awareness about that situation, because the problem is that autistic people are dealing with the same problems that the people with Down syndrome are dealing with, and similar problems to people with multiple sclerosis, and similar problems with traumatic brain injury. So, if we can ever get everybody on the same page and working together, I think the end result would be that there's a louder voice. Because another problem is, um, people with disabilities make up a disproportionate amount of the poor population in our country. And it's in part because of the system that we have. And with that means that, and with that comes a lack of mobility economically. So it's kind of a self feeding cycle in a lot of ways. So I try to do what I can to help anybody that's trying to work in that community in a positive direction. So that's where I'm coming from today. That's a little more information than any of you knew about me. I don't really talk about the military service because I volunteered. I went and did my job. I came home, and I shouldn't get extra appraise for doing what I volunteered to do. So thank you for everybody
y'all,
that had something kind to say. I appreciate it, but you probably won't hear me mention it again.
y'all learning about the Gin today. Maybe now you understand a little bit more.
So Chad Rev Art down here, my dear friend, has been through cancer a few times. He's been through a kidney transplant. He's been through some other things in his life. And instead of that turning him into a negative dude, it's turned him into a force for good in this world, and a positive, and being kind to everyone. And that's why I love the guy. That's why I like working with him. And that's why we'll
That's my
continue
dude.
to work together on TikTok and on other platforms and outside of those platforms. Um,
Absolutely.
so, thank
Without
y'all for
doubt.
listening to all that. That's why I do the Gen Project show. And that's why we're still going to do one a week in the evening time. And that's why we try to take the information that we've learned about TikTok and share it with the other artists and the other folks on this show, because it truly is our way of trying to do community service for the artist community. Um, I know that isn't always well received, but that's what we're doing. So, uh,
That's what we're
the
doing.
other the other portion of that is, it allows us more time to work on our craft in the at night, in the evenings, or whenever. And as Rick Nemuse knows, trying to produce a couple shows a week where you're doing interviews for people, and you're doing pre-interviews, and you're trying to make sure you remember everything and get everything right, it's a lot. So we're going to make
Facts,
sure we
man.
do one good show each a week. We're going to do the best we can to take good care of our people. And remember, on Fridays, we still have a member of the family who's going through cancer treatments, and Painting at Tiffany's
Yes.
is running lives, helping her out. That's Nightmare. So we're also on my show, at least on Tuesday nights. We're going to try to promote the other shows that are going on. We're going to keep that ongoing list going of promoting other people. I'm going to continue to do interviews. They'll just be one a week though, and I'll do the best I can to give you a good interview on that subject. some of, excuse me, some of those interviews that I've done have now been picked up by my good friends over at Theory of Radio. And
Mm-hmm.
I just did an interview with them yesterday about some other projects they're working on. I'd like to thank them if they're in the house. I appreciate them. Hey, what's going on, lyrical poet? There's one right there. There's Ethereum right there. So I appreciate y'all coming through. Hey, Rebecca, thank you so much for coming
Hi,
through.
Rebecca.
There's another amazing person that I've never seen do anything but support people. Is Rebecca. So
And
I'm really excited to say that instead of them just going off the 30-day rails there for the TikTokers, my good friends at Therian, they're actually going to edit those down, and they're going to be
mm-hmm.
like a 30-minute condensed version that's just the audio that you can listen to. And eventually, Chad and I will have some of those over on our YouTube channels too. But so
Yes.
thank
Hi,
y'all
Haley
for coming
Beth.
in. If Flash Gordon or if Petra, to
Yeah,
my
I think I had a
understanding,
couple here that were waiting. Let me. Oh, it
is
expired.
in the
Oh, no,
chat.
no, no. I got Flash here. I'm about to accept it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, and if you don't mind, Chad, let's get them up,
Need your
and
other,
then
need your other dude up
we're gonna
here.
we're gonna give them a little, and we'll do a mic check with everybody. Hey, Haley, thank you so much for being here. Hey, Can Do
You want to
Artist,
shoot
good to
me?
see you.
Who else am I looking for here?
Hopefully
Petra.
Flash will, Petra. Okay.
Petra. Okay.
Petra. Let's see. Where's she at?
How you doing,
Petra,
Flash?
right here. Petra's palette.
Good.
Of
How are you?
course. Oh, I know that.
Good, sir.
I didn't
Thank you
realize
for
that's
You
who
know
joining
we
me.
were
Petra.
talking about. Yeah, of
Yes,
course I
yes.
do.
The Petra.
The Petra.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Wafty, no
She's the
worries.
vi-
You're never late when you're here, dude.
she's the vice president. She hates when I say that, but
hey, hey, Severed Art. Good to see you.
Hey,
So what we
Severed.
got going on today? Who we just brought in the box here is Flash Gordon, and I'll let him tell you if he wants to be called anything else. That's up to him.
it's
but
it's
but
it's it's great to hear that people doing good things for other people. Oh, there's Petra right there. Well, if she wants to come up on the box, she can
Service is
mute
bad.
until she gets in better service. There you go.
There we go.
okay, all right.
Um,
Yeah, well,
I'm donating my hair for wigs for kids.
I did
It's like the
that.
fifth time I've done. Yeah,
I did
nice,
that.
nice.
yeah.
When I
So,
had cancer and had to cut all my hair off, it was really long, and that's what we did. Very cool.
Yeah, there'd be some gray-haired kid running around, but
right. so
um,
so the folks, Petra and Flash folks, the today are going to talk to us, and we're going to give Petra, she's traveling, and we'll give her an opportunity to
yeah,
get up here a little better service. No problem. We can keep trying to bring her up.
yeah.
Um,
So
so, like I was saying earlier, they're working on some projects. If nothing else, they're going to spread some awareness today. And the reason I gave you the background about myself, about the fact that I've been in the Air Force and the Air Force Reserves, got my degree in this very field that we're going to be talking about today, um, is that I wanted the audience to understand that these people are serious, and we're not just people on here trying to tell you about some stuff that we're not knowledgeable about.
yeah,
So,
N- n-
um,
no worries, Petra.
um,
We'll
we're
get you
already
in whenever you're ready.
yeah, no
we're
problem,
already
Petra. No worries.
we're already
So,
being proactive and helping out a few people already. So what the organization is, it's Art for Autism, okay? And Art for Autism is going to be a place for artists to donate their work, and it to be going to a cause to help families with whatever they're struggling with, whether it's ABA therapy or maybe some in-home speech therapy or whatever they need. We're going to have a multi-platform website which will be ready by June 1st. We've ran into some problems. I mean, it's a pretty elaborate website that we're going to have. We're going to be able to do auction on there. We're going to have a live chat for families of autism to go in there and kind of communicate with each other to get maybe some solutions in things that they have impacting their life. We've already partnered up with Wisconsin Southeastern Autism Society, which they cater to 62 counties. So on our autism side of our website, there's going to be like a plethora of resources for people, and they'll always be able to reach out to us individually if they're struggling on getting contact with someone, or we'll have applications for assistance. Um, we're going to have say a family needs like a car and they've got 4 children and they can't get around town and they need a bigger car. Our platform will have a GoFundMe specifically just for that family. So you fill out something and we'll verify everything. We're not going to be giving out cash. We're going to be, reaching out to their doctors and their medical providers and paying their bills, helping with their bills that, the benefits aren't picking up. But one of the great things is, how when you do like a GoFundMe, they take a percentage of it. Well, we're not going to take a percentage from these families. We're just going to have it. If you come on the platform and you see this family, you watch a little video about what they got going on and you want to donate right directly to them. And we're going to work it out so we can have that money go right into their account. Or if it's a vehicle or something like that, or maybe they need an improvement in their house. Maybe they have lead in their house and they need lead taken out or something, anything like that. It's about helping them because there really isn't any assistance for a lot of that stuff.
You know, you hit on something there. I'm very sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to say that one of the things that I experienced and have, even though I wasn't doing it as for a living, I still, part of that community. And one of the things that has been consistent for decades is that all of those are the type of services that a lot of people don't realize that are the ones that fall short for folks. People with less money end up living in places that are near Superfund sites. Poor schools are built on Superfund sites oftentimes.
Yeah.
People in communities that don't have good healthcare centers, for example, that really is devastating to people with these types of issues, because oftentimes if you have autism or Down syndrome or something else, you end up with other medical type issues that come along, as an example. So it is one of those situations to where poverty or just not understanding what they're dealing with really exacerbates the problem. So if you're able to take care of some of these things, living in a house where there's lead, or not having access to a vehicle that can get them to work or to their
Yeah.
appointments. Those are huge. Those are huge for that
Well,
community.
there's some things that we're already working on is like say they don't have a vehicle. Well, we can credit their Uber account. So we can put money into their Uber account and they can have rides. It's not like we're going to give people money. Um, I'm not one for just throwing money at a situation. I want to know, I want to see your bill, I'll pay the bill. I'll relieve you of that. Save your money for whatever else you want to spend it on, you know.
Right.
Um,
Right.
it's just about to help people we're trying to fill the gap where the difference is. You can't just sit here. We can sit here and point the finger at where the problems are, but let's not do that. Let's just try to work on where the problems are and let's try to help it just to get it through, because obviously it's on a higher level on the gap, right?
Right.
And I'm not a politician, you know,
Me
but
either, man.
it's the artist community that's on here that is amazing. And we Petra and I both go through a lot of different lives, and a lot of people are excited about doing some artwork and donating it. I mean, you think about people that are making donations for these other autism foundations, and they maybe get a bumper sticker or a T-shirt or something, but they're going to get a beautiful piece of art. How cool is that?
Right.
you know and
Right.
and 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 one of the things that Petra and I have talked about, you see how Petra narrates her artwork and she has a little story behind it. In our website,
Yeah.
I want that. I want the artist to express, especially with the autism piece, express what 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 do you what was going through your mind when you were making it, and maybe talk about something that you have impacting your life with autism, or what you've done to bring yourself to awareness. And I'm using myself as a test for bringing awareness. I don't have it directly impacting my life, but I do have people all around me. Now,
Right.
it was like an awakening moment for me. It was like all of a sudden I woke up and I was hearing it. I was hearing it before, but I wasn't like listening, I guess, maybe. I mean, it's not that I didn't have the empathy for him, but it hit me hard. And it
Right.
was a solution thing, some kind of solution. What can we do? You know, I don't feel like just giving someone money or feeling sorry for them, but what can I help with? And that's how this
Yes.
whole thing just kind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
Chad and I, for example, try to promote other artists on our shows. And part of the reason for doing that is to try to elevate the entire art community. Part of the reason for doing that is if the entire art community has a bigger footprint, then they have more influence. And where that can be used is a good example is part of the reason individuals with disabilities don't have the services that they need is poor people don't have a lot of lobbyists.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
farm has
You're right.
lobbyists. Big ag has lobbyists. Big oil has lobbyists. Big mining has lobbyists. You know who doesn't have a lot of lobbyists? People that don't have a lot of means because lobbyists
Yeah.
are expensive. Buying politicians
Message.
is expensive, right?
Message.
Well,
It is
it's in their
expensive to
best
buy
interest.
politicians, right?
Yeah.
So
It's what's in their interest.
one of the ways we can help people with autism or people with Down syndrome or people with traumatic brain injuries or cerebral palsy or whatever is by elevating the entire artist community to give the artist community a bigger voice. Now that bigger voice
Yeah.
could be used to raise money or raise awareness or raise facilities. For example, SA Artistry is a dear friend of ours. Her dream, if her art is successful, she wants to build a community center that includes a soup kitchen and training facilities and job training facilities. I'm sorry, social skills training facilities and community gardens and the whole gamut. And if we can
Yeah.
help people do that, then that, in my mind, is it's a ground up way to help those people directly in the community. For
Yeah.
example, she's talking about growing food that can literally be taken to their house and given to them. So you're helping them
That's
on that
awesome.
level. But if you raise the community at the community level as well, now you've got councilmen that get interested because it's in their best interest now because they want their picture
Yeah.
taken at the community garden. That's how it
Yeah.
works. So I'm sorry to go on that rant for you, but I
No,
think
no, no. That's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
think it's
And
applicable.
that's exactly what we're trying to do. I mean, that I shouldn't say try. That's something I'm learning to say. We're doing it. You know,
Jubes.
it's like
I understand.
it's like the Star Wars. It's like Yoda, you know, when Luke's trying to do all that stuff and Luke says, "I'll try," but Luke says, "Don't," or Yoda says, "Don't try."
Try
do."
not. Try not.
Try not.
Do or do not.
But
There
it is
no
a real
try.
yeah, it's right.
Well,
And
Jubes,
so the other
excuse me,
thing,
guys. Jubes, you'll have to contact Flash on direct message, I believe. He's asking about
Yes.
donations. Contact
Okay,
him
so
on direct message.
we have Art for Autism. We have 7 different platforms. Mine is Art for Autism, just plain, and then it counts from Art from Autism all the way from 1 all the way to 7. That's to keep. We wanted to wait until we had all 7 platforms lined up before the scammers got into this. You know, so
right on.
we will not ask anybody for money. We will not be reaching out to anybody asking for money. If if there is some kind of donation that you would want, I would give you my number and we would talk on the phone and we'd figure out what you wanted to do. There would never be any passing of currency over TikTok. Once our platform is up and running, that's where you can, make your donations and contribute. There's going to be also areas if you want to volunteer, if you want to if you want to host an event in your town. I was talking to Amy Lee today and I said she did the sidewalk chalk in Florida. And I said, I would love
Yeah.
for us to put something on like that. If you want to make arrangements for next year where we can help finance that and get the word out, we'll come down there. I'll come down there. We'll set up a table. We'll have our merchandise that we can give away and we can take donations. And, this is what it's about. And as well as being a double-sided platform, the artists that are contributing their artwork, we want to help them as well. If we're going to have like a membership base where you could sell your artwork. You could sell your artwork anywhere else. It's not like we're saying that you need to sell it here and only here. I mean, but we're going to have like a sliding scale commission. We all know that artists are struggling. I mean, we see people with the small little tubes of paint or one brush.
Terrible.
We need to help them to be creative. I look at painting as a coping mechanism, whether it's my woodworking or my painting or anything that I'm doing. They need these things, So it's not only helping autism family, it's also helping the art community to if they're going to be donating artwork, man, I want to help them too. I want to give them a
Right.
place to sell their artwork.
Right.
If they sell their artwork on these big galleries, they're losing 50% sometimes to pay for what? Little cream cheese and Ritz crackers at a little gala. you know?
Th- Thank you, LP. You'll be able to catch this interview on Therian. So I'm sorry you got to go, but you'll be able to catch it. It'll be on there.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to contribute at their time or ideas, we are welcome, everybody. It's not a selfish thing where we're just driven on what we want to do. We're open to anybody who wants to contribute time and ideas. I mean, and I will say this: if people don't feel comfortable about what we're talking about, then go out and do something on your own. Go out and see a family and talk to them. Make contact with some autistic people, not the actual person, but the families, and see what you can do to help them. Do that, and you will understand what we're doing. I was in a grocery store. I was in a gas station, and um, in my awareness journey, one of the things that I wasn't aware of is when people have an autistic child, they can't just take their child to the grocery store. It's a one parent thing. So one parent has to stay home with the child and the other one goes and does the shopping. So it's like flipping back and forth, right? So I learned this from talking to someone I'm very close with, and I had no idea that that was something that they were struggling or dealing with. And I was in a gas station and I saw this woman come in, and her son was having an episode. He wanted something, and she was dragging him through the store, and she had milk and eggs. And she was, I stepped back from the register, and she was trying to get her son over there. I'm not saying that she was embarrassed, but I'm assuming the level of embarrassed was pretty overwhelming for her because of all the people that were there. So there's that. And I've heard that from people that have had these situations, that they feel embarrassed. Not that they should be, but that's what they self do it to themselves. So I stepped back to give her the thing so she could get out of there. Because in my mind, what I was thinking, and when you see this happening, there is something pretty extreme. Someone wasn't home for them to leave their child home. They know that they needed something important, and it was milk and eggs. So what I did was I told the lady milk and eggs, and I paid for it just so she could move on her way and get out. It's something so simple like that people can just do. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't stare at them. If you can help, help.
Message.
That, that's a great point. That's a great point. I can speak from experience in that, and here's something that people can do that I saw be effective. Um, you I would show up and I would have a tie on, or I would try to wear nice clothes because I was representing my client. And when I would go somewhere, I would introduce them as my friend instead of as my client or as whatever. I would always introduce them as my friend. And the
Yeah,
tone that would set in that conversation, whoever we were talking to would treat my client the same way they treated me, the same respect that they were treating, the professional that was coming through their door. They treated the person that was with me. And I would call it lending them credibility. And it wasn't that they even necessarily needed it, but society, the way society operates,
yeah,
because I walked in and I was the official person, automatically there were people that tried to disrespect, but mostly there were people that respected that because I was there to
yeah,
try to help. And the
yeah,
clients themselves appreciated it because there's this phenomenon that happens when people are in wheelchairs. And it's that we start speaking to them like they're children. They're not children. They're grown ass adults. They just happen to be in a wheelchair.
yeah,
And it's the same thing when I taught in grade school. I would teach a first grade class
Message.
for a lesson, and then I'd go to fifth graders. And if I talked to fifth graders like first graders or first graders like fifth graders, they'd call me on it. They understood.
yeah,
So the way we interact with people, the way we respond to them when we see them going through a crisis in public, really can take a big burden off of them by simply just being compassionate, being understanding, maybe being in a little less of a rush because you come to the conclusion that you don't have a child, that you have to deal with this every day. I know parents that literally had to physically fight their children every day because that was part of the disability that they had. Can you
yeah,
imagine the exhaustion after some years of that?
yeah. And
Chad, I've heard people mention being assaulted while they were asleep. So there's all the way from the extreme all the way to it's a mild case that's inconvenient. We never know what they're going through at home, and you are so right. One of the things we can
There,
do is be compassionate.
there's also another thing. If you know of the parents that have autistic children, maybe reach out to them, see if they need to talk. The awareness isn't just for the children, and that's something that we're focused on our platform. Is we want to align people with therapy for the parents, and to help them to understand themselves and what they have going on. There's a lot of situations where one parent understands and the other one doesn't, and it's causing tension, which in turn is causing trauma and stress to the child. These children, there's nothing wrong with them. Let's be clear about that. There's nothing wrong. They're hyper vigilant. They are hyper aware. If anything, they have more sensories than the average person. They can sense things. They can sense the turmoil between the two parents. And I've been talking to a couple right now that their son is repeating things a lot more. And it's because the husband isn't going to any of the school events and the wife is trying to talk to her husband. And it's like a dynamic of, whether it doesn't have to be yelling at each other, but if they're discussing something, these children pick up on that. They're very smart. And it is more on the awareness side for people, everybody, to make yourself aware. There's a great show on TikTok or on Netflix right now. It's called Love in the Spectrum, and I watched it, and it is an amazing story of autistic adults. I mean, this isn't just children. There are autistic adults, and they're dating, and it's really it's a heartwarming thing to watch these, individuals, these, whether they're different on their spectrums, but to interact with each other and find love. I mean, love is an important thing in life, whether
Right,
it's love from your parents or love from, a stranger even, or just to feel cared for is important. And
right.
if if this message is reaching everybody in here, you know, you are you can do something too. You don't have to be me. You don't have to be the jinn. I mean, you can do something.
Yes, yes. Even if it's just be kind. Even if it's just be kind to
Be kind.
someone.
Yeah. Be
Petrus.
more aware of seeing these situations and not thinking that it's the parents' fault because they're not disciplining their child right. That's not the case. That might have been
Right.
something in the old ways that people thought, but that's not the case. These people, the
That
impact that I was what you're saying.
I was just agreeing with you. I'm just agreeing with you.
Oh, yeah. The impact that what's occurring with these people, the families, the parents of autistic children, I give them a lot of credit for, putting on every day and working through their problems and then going into society and nobody knows, and they need some credit and they need some help. And that's what we're here for, to give them help. We're here to show them that they're not alone. That's the whole connection. And the, the it being alone is such a broad thing. Feeling alone with your own struggles, with your own mental health, or if you're on a path of healing yourself, you feel alone. I mean, it's a general thing, but that's where everybody can do something in any kind of aspect, whether it's cancer or it's mental health or um, special education or anything. Make sure that they know that they're not alone.
Yes, yes. Let me just say before we bring Petra up, the one observation that I had as well is I think something that could be good coming from what you're doing is that from my experience, there were often bridges that were unnecessarily burned, you might say, because from the parent side, you know, having a child born to you doesn't make you an expert on children or doesn't make you an expert on any given disability, right? Like people assume that
No,
because you have a kid, you know everything about it. They don't come with manuals, first of all. So
no,
parents
no.
often are trying to do the best that they can. Not always, but often. And the other side of that coin are the teachers or the social workers or the project coordinators or the IEP people or whoever um, they all have a different set of problems that they have to deal with and a different set of issues. And hopefully, everybody in the room is trying to work in the best interest of the individual. But sometimes I've seen teachers and parents go at it, and they're both trying to accomplish the same thing, but the frustration gets to the point they're both exhausted, they're both tired, and they stop seeing where each other's coming from. So I think another
Yeah.
good thing that you guys are doing is providing a platform for people to come together rather than find reasons to be divided.
Yeah, and like for instance, our message board or our blog area. Now it's going to be an area for parents to bring up issues that they have or struggles that they have going on, and then someone else can chime in on that and say this worked for me or try this.
Yeah.
And the way it's going to work is it's going to kick out an email. So say one of you put something on there and then I respond, it's going to send an email to you, and then we're chatting that way. We can chat in a live room, and it's all going to be moderated. I mean, we're putting it to a level of having AI because one of the board members said, do you think that people are going to go in there and be malicious? I said, why are you looking at me being paranoid versus me being protective? You know,
Yes, they
I'd
are. The
rather
answer
be,
to the question is hell yes, they are. That's
yeah,
the answer
yeah.
to that
And I
question.
do not,
Yeah, they
and
will.
I do not want, yeah. And they're like, well, why are you being paranoid about that? And I'm like, I'm not being paranoid. I'm being protective because I don't want, this is a safe place. This is going to be an ultimate safe place for people to chat. One of
Right
the
on.
other components of that is to reach out to the medical industry, whether it's a urologist or autism experts. And we're going to have like a QR code, and we'd like to put QR codes in all doctors' offices. That way, if they see our logo, they can just QR code it, And we want to
Right
reach
on.
out to doctors' offices and get that in a little picture frame, even if it's one of our pieces of art that we bring in there and ask them, hey, pick out a piece of art. Which one do you like? And we'll put it in here, and we'll put our
Right
QR
on.
code on there, and it'll give them access to get some more resources, as well as being able to talk to the experts to be able to have access to this message board. So when a professional comes in, their name would be professional, so then they would have access to professional help at no cost, or maybe they could get help with resources. I have one of our board members she's an amazing woman that is very resourceful, even in other states. She has done this for her whole career. She's a licensed therapist, and she is already coming up with resources for some of the people that we're working with, and we're not even up and running yet. So I've got a great team of people so far, and if anybody else wants to join up or if they have something, I encourage it. It's not
They
like
need
there's
to
a limit.
they need to DM you or they need to email you. What's
They
the
need
best way for folks to
they
get in
can
touch with you?
they can DM me through Art for Autism on TikTok. If you would like
Okay.
my email, I mean, we can work with the Art for Autism, and then once the website's up and running, you'll have the access through the email. Oh, we
Fantastic.
lost Petra. Um,
Oh man, we did
and
lose Petra. I was about to bring her up.
Petra's an amazing woman, amazing artist, an amazing
Yes, she
mother.
is.
Yeah,
So we'll,
her and
if you
I.
can, try to bring her up again. Let's see if we can get her in here. We were just about to bring her up actually, and so we'll try. We'll give it a minute here. We'll give it a few minutes. See if we.
Yeah.
She may be.
Is there any questions? Anybody in the chat want to ask any questions? Or
Yeah, let's give the chat a few minutes here to see. Here's
yeah,
Petrus. Let's see if we can get her up. Tiffany or Chad or I don't want to overdo it because.
I shot her an invite.
Okay, cool.
There she
Yeah, there
is.
she
is.
is. There she is.
Hi, Petra.
Hi guys.
How can
Hello,
I get
dear.
involved?
I
Is the
cannot even.
question.
You know what? I can't even hear you guys.
You can't
you
hear
can't hear
us?
us?
Let me drop down and see if I can come back up and then hear you guys.
Okay.
Okay. I think
Hey
there was
sis.
an
So,
update with TikTok.
artist Ashley, would she has tons of art willing to share. She would like to know how she can get involved. I think you just got to DM them. Just DM them.
Yep.
DM Flash Gordon. Ashley, let him know what you got going on.
We're
Um,
trying to grow our Art for Autism one so we can go live at events. Like if we're gonna like the first event we got coming up in April is in Milwaukee at the zoo, and it's a walk for autism.
Right on.
It's a walk for autism. We're going to be printing out some shirts with our logo on it, and that's one of the first
Beautiful.
events. Now we got invited to put some art in a gala in Milwaukee, which the tables are $25,000 a piece, and Petra's going to be doing one of the artworks, and I'm going to have Bob Not So Ross do a piece for them too. Now,
Nice. He's amazing.
yeah, yeah, and to think about that, their pieces at an event like that should
Thank you, Pete.
probably gain upwards of $25 to $50,000. I'm thinking, right? It's an auction, so to think that just from this concept or what we're doing, that we could raise $50,000 to $100,000 on people just doing what they love to do. How incredible is that?
That would be amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Petra is the amazing artist.
Let's
When they
let's bring
when I was
Petra
talking,
up.
yep.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
When I was talking to the organization and they were telling me about how excited they were to have some art and they had a theme, there was nobody other than Petra that popped into my head.
Right on. Right on. Well, Petra, we're gonna put you in the big box, and and
I just
and
want to warn you guys.
Petra.
You're going to hear. You're going to hear my kids. They're.
we love children here. It's all right, Petra.
So
It's okay. No worries at all. We
yeah,
appreciate you joining us.
yeah. Thank you. Look, thank you for having me. So my perspective as a parent with a child with autism, and I have nephews with autism. Um, I try to be, how do I put it? That there's a lot of things that I've noticed um, in the process of getting my son evaluated. Like we get IEPs every single year with my son. So he's been in speech therapy since he was 3. So there is these tags that we're going to be donating, and it's for parents to have. So when my son first went to school, they lost him, and he was nonverbal, and that was I can't even describe that experience, but it was scary that they put my child on a bus, and he's a car rider. We don't really just let him ride the bus, but you have these things to where these situations that happen, and people don't know that this child is nonverbal. People don't know that this child has sensory
Right.
issues, and so these tags that we will be donating will actually have information and ways to contact the parents. But
Beautiful.
when you actually see these tags, you'll know basically that this child is autistic, or it has sensory problems. So we have
Is
I'm
it a
hoping that
bracelet?
no, they're tags. We have tags for right now
They
that
go
can
under
go on.
clothing?
Yeah,
I got
well,
you. I got you.
so you can we'll have buckles, like the little small buckles, but we also have tags for their backpacks too. So
Nice.
that is something that my son will have next year, and my daughter. So another side of this, the thing is,
That's amazing.
we're
I
we're
love it.
giving we're giving
It's
that out
great.
free to anybody that wants to apply for it. Anybody who wants one, you come to our website and you get it for free. No price, no tag, no charge, no nothing.
yes. And my daughter, I know you guys can hear in the background, and that's not,
Yeah.
yeah, that's nonstop. But my daughter is actually, we're on a waiting list for her evaluation. We had went in to go get her shots, and they tell us, hey, we're worried about her, and we really think she's on the spectrum. So we have this thing to where we have VA insurance. The place that they referred us to they don't take yeah, they don't take our insurance. So the fact that we have to sit here and search for people who can take our insurance is very discouraging, and it hinders the process of getting our kids help. And that is something big that you making phone calls, you trying to reach people, they do not reach back. You have to hound them just to get an answer, to get an email. That is something that we really have to work on as far as the kids. Yeah, my daughter's she's something else, you guys. But it's all this stuff to where you have to we have to constantly fight. We constantly have to get on to people to be able to get the resources that we need. And then especially if you're over a certain income and you your kids, like my I have two kids that has autism. So it's a thing with when you have a certain income, they're not going to help you. They're not going to, you're going to have to somehow come out of pocket to pay for these things. You don't qualify for certain things to be covered. And that's just the reality of this world. Like my daughter, we're waiting for speech therapy. Um, and we're constantly waiting. We're constantly waiting. She's about to be 4 and go to school. She's not going to be able to communicate with none of these kids. Um, and as a parent, it's very stressful. I think a lot of people kind of see parents with kids with autism, like Flash was talking about having breakdowns and stuff, going to the store. It's I stay home. I stay home so that I my kids have a safe structure to where we don't have as many meltdowns. It's just stuff that we have to be very aware of. And I have this thing with I when my kids meet other kids, I let them know, that my child may not understand things that you do, but he's excited to see you. And so we have these experiences, and me as a parent, it hurts me to see some of the experiences that my son have to go through because he doesn't really understand. And I cry about this all the time because it's not something that I want. You don't want to see your child go through that. But my son is a very affectionate person, and to see kids not want to play with him because he doesn't understand social cues or just the norms. And so you have kids can spot that. And it's another thing, it's about educating the next generation on how to interact with people who are different from you, people who process things different. That is something big, and I don't think a lot of people are aware how that affects that child, and how they interact with other people later on. And that's something that I have to constantly, you know, whisper affirmations to my children, because I just want to let you know you're okay and you're amazing. And that doesn't define you. If they don't want to play with you, then it's fine. If an adult says something, then that's my job as a mother. I'm a very nice person, but I would definitely change all that when it comes to my kids. But the discussion board, the forum, it's a way for us to connect with people who are going through the same experiences that I am, going through the same, a community to where we could be able to have conversations that people are not willing to have, or even just to have that support. They can't be aware, they wouldn't treat that way if they knew, right? Or am I new? Well, for instance, the whole thing with my son, this one time I didn't say anything, and the kid reacted to the way that my son was happy to see him. And so he was screaming out, well, he's weird, he's crazy. And the way that just hurt my son hearing that, and so I rather inform them than to rather them scream like that in my child's face, and hurting my child that way. I rather have a conversation. Hey, I want to let you know this, so that you're not destroying my child by doing all this. So yeah, I do inform the parents, if as far as that. Um, but as far as resources, it's really hard to get people to answer phones. It's really hard to get people to email you back, and it is something that we have to work on. So, um, you know, I think from my experience, and it's the same thing that my brother goes through. Like he has a son that's on the spectrum, and he also have a son that's partially blind, that's partially blind too, and he's a toddler. You have these things where people with disabilities, there's only a limit to things that we can do and the resources. It's hard to, you have to fight for the resources that you need. And I don't really think that's a thing that we should have to do. But I'm excited for the Art for Autism. I will be donating a lot of my work. I've taken, if you guys seen my wall, I had a whole bunch of pictures up here, a whole bunch of paintings. They're gone. So I will be doing a lot of work, and I will be auctioning a lot of my work that I do to the cause, so that we can donate, so that we can help people, so we can pay medical bills, so that we can advocate for people who necessarily, some people who don't have a partner in helping them, because I really do feel like when you're a parent of anyone with autism, I feel like it really takes to like function and to still have your mental health intact, because you're going to need that person to lean on it, and it's going to be very frustrating times. Like right now, I'm actually ordering my groceries from the store for them to deliver. Um, it's things that I think as a community we could be that person, that shoulder to lean on, that person that the people that we, to help you get the resources, to help you with the helping hand. And yeah, I'm definitely excited. And the art aspect of the whole thing, it's pretty cool to me to have the online gallery, and to auction to auction off pieces. Like, because if you know
Yeah.
me, I'm kind of a hoarder when it comes to my artwork. I don't sell my originals, and so for me to be able to do that, and I know it's a cause that's, that's true to my heart, and I do nothing but advocate love. And I'm grateful for every opportunity I have, and this is one that I'm really grateful for. And I'm hoping we reach a lot of people, and to help.
Yes. I put this is our logo that Petra made up on my green screen. So you'll see it on it'll be on isn't that awesome?
That is cool. Very cool.
Petra did
Yes.
that. I mean, we can't see it all, but I mean, that'll be, if you're going for the TikTok, if you want to DM us, that will be our screen, that'll be our picture. It'll be Art for Autism from 1 through 7. It'll be there's one that's mine that's just Art for Autism. And then which one are you, Petra? 2, 3? 3.
3? Oh, I'm 3. Okay.
3. Yeah, I think you're 2 or 3 or something. Yeah. But you could reach out to any one of those people. We have one that the dog is a little bit more ferocious. I don't know if I put that one up there. It's going to mess with this autistic kid. We're going to bite on you. But look at that. That's amazing.
Good
You did
dog.
an amazing job.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Petrus, thank
Yeah.
you for sharing with us. Did you have anything else you'd like to say? I'll bring you back in the big box here.
Oh, no, no,
Uh,
no.
d-
Nothing really. Oh, and on our website, we will have a store for you guys to buy merch. I don't know if because I've missed some of it because of the service. We will have we have a link to our store where we have the merch. Um, and you can buy T-shirts, you can buy the tags, you can do all kinds of, it's all kinds of things that'll be on there. Um, and like I said, all the proceedings goes to the cause.
Where do they find
Yep.
this link? Where do they go? Do they just go to your page, or they go to the
It'll be on the
autism?
website. It'll be on the
Okay.
It'll
website.
be on the website.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
if you're
Coming
interested
in
in
June.
the shirt now,
Yeah.
you can DM me, and I can get you all that information and get some stuff sent out. Who made them up for me?
We're looking for followers to start following the Art for Autism so we can get the live events, and we can be able, we're gonna keep everybody up to date on the website and the progress of it. And as soon as it launches, if it launches before June, we are gonna do like a public service announcement on our platforms and be able to send it out to everybody, And
Right
if
on.
you're waiting, just keep an eye on our platforms. We're going to be popping into rooms with the Art for Autism, and all we ask right now is just to get our followers up so we can do live broadcasting from autism events. We're not necessarily looking for donations for on here because TikTok takes a lot of it.
Gotcha.
So whatever you want to do, just reach out to us.
So, folks, when you see the Art for Autism account show up, give them a follow, give them shares. Let's try to support them. And if you would, Flash and Petrus, when y'all put those out, send them to Chad and I. We'll share them for you.
We will. We
You know
will.
what I mean. And when you get
Yeah.
closer to that June date, let's get together again and try to see if we can get you guys up and at least.
Yeah.
Even if it isn't, we'll see. Well, who has time for what? But let's at least get you in to talk about. Hey, it's gonna, we're about to light it up and it's about to go live and all of that. And in the meantime, know that you can reach out to me, and I'm sure you can reach out to Chad.
Me as
We
well.
have a
You have my
we,
number.
we have a bunch of folks that reach out to us. We try to get back everybody as soon as we are able to. So.
Yeah.
But we will definitely be repping you and supporting you and believe in your
Thank you.
cause. And I think that I think several of the different issues that you are working on are deep-seated issues that that need work. So,
Yeah.
my hat's
Well,
off.
they're.
Literally, my hat's off
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you. We appreciate you putting us up here and giving us the time, and we appreciate everybody that's watching. And I especially appreciate Petra. She's an amazing person, and
Yes, she is.
I wouldn't be able to. We wouldn't be where we were if it wasn't for her.
Right on.
Oh, back at you, Flash.
Is there anything we didn't cover? Is there anything that I got wrong or that we need to correct or
Carrie,
anything?
how kind.
Honestly,
Carrie.
like 25% of everything that was said.
Well, we're just gonna go with we were right about everything then, Petra.
I think one of the greatest things that Petra brought up is the ID name tags that we're going to do, and that's going to be free to everybody. And all you have to do is fill out your email, and just to become a user, that'll give you access to the chat room. We'll get you a name tag. That's where our funding from the beginning is going to be for raising money to produce all these name tags. And it's just about spreading the word. If you know someone that has an autistic child, send them in the direction. We'll have QR codes in a few months. We'll be able to, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the artwork. I'm excited to for the events. I love this. I love this the logo she made.
That's cool. She did an amazing job on that. Petrus, did you have something else? It looked like you might have wanted to say something.
Honestly, it went with the wind. So
Sorry.
I have no, it's fine.
Okay, no worries. No worries at all. No worries at all. All right, I'll tell you what we're gonna do here. Then I'm gonna go ahead.
If there's anything that you need from us, just reach out to us. You guys have been great. Thank you so much.
Oh, I know what it was now.
Will do. Thanks.
So the puzzle.
Here we go. I'm gonna get you there. Go ahead. I'm gonna get you there. Say it.
For the sponsors, for the people who are sponsoring, what we're wanting to do is that on our shirts or even on our website, we're going to dedicate a puzzle piece to you guys as far as that.
Yes.
So that's donations, that's sponsoring, that's all that stuff. Just so that we can recognize the people who are helping out, Yeah, that's basically
Right on.
to say.
Yeah. So our shirts on the back of the shirts will have our shirts will have puzzle pieces, and the Gin Project will definitely have a puzzle piece for them.
Right on. That's amazing. Thank you. Amazing. Well,
Or any other, if you do woodworking or if you have a business or something that you want to promote, just reach out to us. We'll gladly put it on the shirt for you. Because our like what she said, it's just going to be like a little puzzle piece on the back for anybody who is a partnered up with us, or a contributor, or even just a supporter, or is doing work, on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Again, did you freeze up, buddy? I think we lost again. Look at that. He's all frozen.
No, there he is.
Oh, there he is. There he is. I was about to take the whole show over again. You're lucky you came back. I was about to be like, "Arr!"
It's
Okay,
it's
Devlin.
it's getting pretty glitchy. It's getting pretty glitchy.
Hold on, Cotton.
See what
Hold
happens
on.
here. Well,
Rough ride.
yes.
Oh,
It's
look
blinking.
at him.
Calm down.
I'm going to take this show over before it's all said and done, everybody. Are you ready for the early edition of the show? Oh, here he is. Never mind.
So thank you to Flash Gordon and Petra. Thank you for giving your time, for being so compassionate. I know that you're amazing artists, but you're also amazing human beings. Look, I'm speaking from personal experience when I tell you it's tough work that you're doing. And like I said, I burnt out and had to find something else to do for my own health, literally. So I admire what you're doing. I hope that we can be supportive to you in any way that we're able. Hope that you.
Thank you.
What I mean to say is, I hope that you know that you can reach out for us and that we will be supportive to the extent that
Absolutely.
we possibly can. And
Thank you.
And I think you are hitting on a lot of issues that are all related that need attention. And I still believe that this artist community can make a difference if we all start working together and
Yes.
for some bigger picture stuff than just ourselves. And if we do that, then all of our art becomes a little more important. It becomes a little more seen. And those people that we advocate for and care about become more seen. So
Yeah.
it's all tied together. So you'll be able to Tuesday nights. You'll be able to catch the Gin Project show here. It'll be on at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, and we're going to continue to interview folks, and we're going to continue to try to bring issues to light that might be helpful to this community on TikTok and outside of TikTok. So I really appreciate Petra and Flash. They're really busy. They have a lot going on and trying to juggle all of this and make appearances, and it's just amazing what you're doing. We really appreciate you. So if I
Thank
could, please, folks, could we drop some claps and some hearts in the chat for
Yes,
these
please.
folks, so that make sure we get a screenshot of some of Petra and Flash in here with some hearts and some chats in the some hearts and some claps in the chat. Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I'm
Thank you,
afraid to
guys.
touch
Thank
any
you.
of my buttons or the whole live might freeze up. So thank
I'll
y'all
take
for there we
over.
go. Thank y'all for doing that. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much. Petrus,
Thank you.
thank you for going out of your way to be so kind. And I admire your journey. It's not an easy one. And Flash, thank you, man. Thank you for stepping forward and being willing to help folks out. So keep those links coming to us. We'll share them out, Chad and
Yeah.
I, and he'll have a show on Thursday, and I'll bug him on his show about talking about it too. So
All right.
and
Thank
then
you.
catch us
We'll
on
pop
our
in.
late nights.
Yeah.
Catch us on our late nights if you happen to have some time, and
Turn those
we'll
notifications
shout you
on.
out then too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notifications are on.
Is there
Definitely.
is there anybody in the chat that had anything real quickly? We got to go because Chad's got to do a show here in a little while. But is there anything for Petra or for Flash while we've got them?
Hey, while we wait for anything to come up, I would like to say earlier in the show, I saw people, cancer got brought up, and there were several people that are fighting or know somebody's fighting or whatever. I just want to remind you guys, my inbox is always open for you. Always. Don't forget that. So please.
Absolutely.
And I'll be on
And-
this evening at 6 Central.
And if there's anybody out there, who has a child that needs hair, I got some hair for him.
You got plenty of hair.
No, I'm serious. I'm being dead serious. If they have something
I'm
where they
with you,
can't
man.
afford it or something, I mean, if you come across it, it's going to go a couple more inches, but if that does come up where a child, a daughter or something needs hair, I mean, the parents will have to dye it, but they can pay a wig
That's
company, or,
amazing.
or we can raise money. We could raise money to have a wig made for their child. I
There you
definitely do
go.
that for first, part of your show. If you come across someone, please reach out to me.
Gotcha. We'll do that. All right,
And then
folks.
we'll do a show.
Fam
We'll
in the
do a
chat.
show with
Remember
me
that.
cutting it. We'll do a show with me cutting it.
Right,
Yes.
right on.
Nice,
Right
Goopy.
on. Well, everybody in the chat, y'all make sure that y'all follow each other. I thank y'all so much. I see you've got us almost to 35,000 likes, and I don't think we've asked for a like one single time this whole show. So thank you. I know there were a bunch of shares. I appreciate everybody. I thank everybody that came in and showed your support. This will be the last Thursday show. This will be the last Thursday afternoon show. There won't be any more. You'll be able to catch the Gin Project on Tuesday evenings, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. You'll be able to catch Chad Rev Art those same times, 7 Eastern, 6 Central on Thursday night. The rest of the time, you're going to have to catch us on a Flow State. Please make sure you check out Petra's art. She is an amazing artist. Not only is she an amazing human being, but she's an amazing artist. And you can go down here to Flash Gordon, too, and say the same thing. Chad, well, he's only good at like 40 things. He's got some stuff to work on.
I do what I can.
Thank y'all so much for being in the live. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank everybody in the
Thank
chat
you.
for coming. Thank you, Petra. Thank you,
Enigma.
Flash. Chad, I love you,
Amen.
brother. I appreciate you. And we got
Big love, homie.
we got what, about an hour and 8 minutes before your show?
2 hours.
2 hours and
2
8
hours.
minutes before your show. Let's go
It's
get a bite to eat.
It's basically 4 here. Yeah, guys, make sure to drink some water. Get some stretches. Put your headphones on so your kids can't hear what we're going to talk about at 6,
Appreciate y'all. Hope you had a really good day today. If you
Thank you.
didn't, I really hope it turns around soon. Landscape guy, I see you. Natasha, I see ya.
I was
Y'all
just
take
about to
care.
say, hey, Natasha.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank y'all for stopping in, everybody.
Bye.
Appreciate y'all.
See you at 6.